I'm Cynthia Luk, and this is the video for the course ENG 3262 Secondary ELT Methods 2 Developing Literacy Skills. And the reading part of the micro-teaching includes two skills, the jumble parts and the paragraph structures. So students are expected to learn to locate information from a persuasion text. Also, students should learn to identify the different paragraph structures found in persuasion text. So okay class, we have just finished the inferencing worksheet together. So now let's move on to the jumble part, alright? So let's look at the jumble part worksheet. Okay, so now I will distribute a copy of this worksheet to each one of you, okay? So everyone got a worksheet, right? So let's look at this worksheet together and let's look at the worksheet's instruction and see what we are going to do. Okay, let's slowly read the instructions together. Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Rearrange the order of the passage by writing down the number in the box next to the paragraph in ascending order.
So, as you can see, there are bracket 1 to 9 here in the instruction. So what we are going to do in this part is that we have to number these boxes starting from 1 to 9, okay? So I will now show you how to do this part. So I will show you an example, okay? So first of all, the very obvious one, which is the first box. So this student's climax change, strike should earn them praise, not condemnation from educators. So this is the title of the passage, right? So because this is the title, so we are going to put number 1 over here, okay? So everyone please write down number 1 next to the title, okay? Right here in the box. Okay. So I'll give you another hint, okay? I will give you another hint. So let's do number 9, okay? So number 9, which paragraph do you think is number 9? Anyone
the third box.
The third box, yes, the third box. Why? Because here says to conclude. So this paragraph is the conclusion of the passage, right? So we put down number 9 next to this box. So we put down number 9. Okay, so now I'll give you 5 minutes to finish this whole worksheet. Okay, so all of you have a general idea of what this worksheet is going on. Okay, so now 5 minutes. Okay, then we will check the answers together. So okay, class, all of you have finished the jumble part worksheet, right? Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we let's put it aside first. Okay, so we are going to do another worksheet together. Okay, this worksheet is about the paragraph structure. Okay, so we will know more about the structure of persuasion. Okay, so this persuasion is what we have been learning in these lessons. Okay, so I will distribute the worksheet to you first. So okay, class, all of you have one worksheet, right? The new one. Okay, so you can see. Let's look at the worksheet together. So you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes on top of the worksheet. Okay, so what are we going to do? So let's find out together. Let's read the instructions together slowly again. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. The text is divided into 7 parts. Match the relevant elements with each part in the text. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We are going to do the matching. Okay, we do the matching. So we match these 7 boxes to the relevant paragraphs. Okay. So what is element? What is element? It's the parts, the structures from the text. Okay, so what includes in persuasion? So I've given you these 7 elements. Okay, so what should we start first? For example, what should we start first?
Title.
Title, right? So we use heading here. We use heading here. Okay, a new word. Okay, it means the same. It means the same with title. So we use heading. So which box is the heading? Which box is the heading?
The first one.
The first one, right, Tiffany, right. So the first one, which is in bold, okay? In bold. The fonts are in bold, okay? So we put down heading right here, okay? So let me just type. So at the same time, please write down heading in the first box, okay? Heading, okay? There's this typo, okay. So heading, okay, and the second one, what is the second one? Is the, can you guess? Can anyone guess? What is the second part?
Introduction.
Introduction. No, in this case is subheading. Okay. So subheading is the part where you give a little summary of what you are going to tell in this text. Okay. So this is the subheading. So we put this down. Okay. So I'll give you one more hint. Okay. One more hint. So this part, so I am responding to the Education Bureau, and so what this paragraph is about? This paragraph is the introduction. Yes, Jas, very good. So this part is the introduction, right? So we will introduce what we are going to talk about in this paragraph. Okay, so we have the heading, subheading, and the introduction. Okay, so now I'll give you 5 minutes to match the rest of the boxes with the relevant elements. Okay, so off you go. So in my first cycle of micro-teaching, 2 of my major strengths are the good use of visual aids, which helps to demonstrate to the students what we are doing in the class, and the second is the good use of nonverbal language, because in the first cycle I use a lot of body language to show students which step we are in. For example, I used to point at the steps that we are talking about. So in my second cycle of micro-teaching, I have improved a lot from my peers' feedback and also my self-reflection. So now I will be talking about some of the improvements that I've made in the second cycle of micro-teaching. So first of all, I made my pace of teaching faster. So in the second cycle of micro-teaching, I use more interactive way and also a faster pace for my teaching, so the students may feel less boring when they have my lesson. I also provide more scaffolding for the students to follow when we are trying to complete the worksheets together in the lesson. So first of all, when we are doing the jumble part worksheets, I try to give 1 or 2 examples for the students to follow. For example, I gave an example of which box should we put number 1 in. So the students will try to say, oh, it's the title, and they will immediately write down number 1 next to the title box, so they can have a better idea of what we are doing, and they can have a better understanding of the lesson.
I'm Yip Yau Jing Jas, and I'm responsible for the writing lesson. The topic of the lesson is environmental issue. In this lesson, students need to write a letter to the editor. The text type of the writing is persuasion. In terms of learning objective in this lesson, students will be able to organize their ideas on for or against the recognition project through text structure and co-construction with teacher. So, using text structure is the writing strategies in this lesson. Because of the time limits, the video will only include the introduction of the writing topic and also the modeling and co-constructing with teacher by using text structure. Collecting ideas about the topic and the construction will not be shown in this video. Good afternoon. So today's lesson is about a social issue. Do you recognize this person? Do you know who she is?
Carrie Lam.
Carrie Lam. Yes, she's our chief executive. Have you ever been here and visited Big Buddha?
Yes.
Yes, Cynthia. Do you know where is it?
Lantau Island.
Yes, Lantau Island. So, do you all know what happened to it recently?
I'm not sure.
No, not sure. Okay, so Carrie Lam recently addressed a new policy, which is Lantau Tomorrow Vision. So this is the original size of Hong Kong, in light orange, and the sharp orange area is the area that we are going to build some lands there. Okay, so as you can see, do you know what is the purpose of Lantau Tomorrow Vision? Jack, can you guess?
To make more lands for development.
Yes, similar. So Lantau Tomorrow Vision is to build some new island there and build transport network there in order to provide more housing to the Hong Kong people. So we have a big task today. We're going to write the letter to the editor, and this is the topic of the writing. Can you read after me? You are the chairperson of the student union of ABC School. You are writing to SCMP to express your opinions on the Lantau Tomorrow Vision. Yes. So, before we start writing the letter to the editor, let's look at what we're going to do in this lesson. First, we were going to brainstorm ideas together. We will watch a video and have a group discussion. After that, we will use mind map and text frame to organize our ideas. And then we will start writing it. Next, we will evaluate peers' work and rewrite our own work and finish the remaining parts. Last but not least, we will have a very exciting activity, which is debate. Okay, after hearing all the ideas from you, these are the arguments that I have just organized. I have pros and cons, and these arguments are from three aspects. The first one is society, the second one is economy, and the last one is environment, okay? And I will use these arguments to do the worksheet with you. So please take out your worksheet. Okay, so this is the topic, right? So please help me highlight the chairperson of the student union, okay? This is very important because it can show your role, okay? So your role here is the chairperson of the student union. That means you are representing your school to express your opinions in SCMP. So Jack, can you tell me, this is a formal letter or informal letter?
Formal letter.
Yes, formal letter. Please be careful with your wordings, okay? Then please help me highlight to express your opinions on the Lantau Tomorrow Vision, because this is the purpose of the writing, okay? Remember, this is the purpose. Okay, let's move on to the genre. So, you're going to express your opinions, right? This genre of the writing is actually same as the genre of the article that we learned last lesson. Do you remember what genre is it? To express your view, what genre is it?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, good. So, how about the purpose of the writing? What did I ask you to highlight? What is the purpose of the writing?
To express my opinions on the project.
Yes, to express your opinions on the Lantau Tomorrow vision. Okay, how about the target reader? Who is the target reader? You're going to write a letter to SCMP. So, who is the reader?
The reader of SCMP.
Yes, good. Okay, let's move on to the introduction part. So I wrote down background information of the issue. So that means you have to include the background information in the introduction part, okay? So apart from the background information of the issue, what should we include in the introduction part? We mentioned it last lesson, right? Cynthia, do you remember it? What should we include in the introduction part apart from the background information?
The purpose of writing.
Yes, the purpose of the writing. So you have to include the purpose, the background information, and also your stance, okay? You have to state your stance. That means you have to pick a side, for or against, okay? Before you start writing the letter. Okay, then let's move on to the argument 1. I will write the topic sentence with you together. But before that, can you help me choose a stance? Jack, can you help me choose a stance?
Against.
Against, okay. So if we choose against, let's look at the arguments that I've just organized, okay? So let's look at the con. Okay, the first argument is environment. So Lantau Tomorrow vision will damage to the marine and natural environment. Cynthia, can you help me? So damage here, is it beneficial or harmful to the marine and natural environment?
Damage means harmful.
Harmful. So, okay, it is harmful to the marine and natural environment. Okay, so here I wrote down the sentence structure here. So you have to write it is and then an adjective for stakeholder to do a particular action. So please write down it is harmful for who?
For marine and natural environment.
Good, for marine and natural environment to build what? So to Lantau Tomorrow vision is to build artificial island and also transport network, right? So we write down to build artificial island and what? Transport network in Hong Kong. So this is the topic sentence, okay? How about the supporting sentences and evidence? So in this part, you have to write something to support your argument. That means you have to show some examples to it, okay, in order to support your argument. So the argument 2 and 3 is also the same. Let's move on to the rebuttal part. So last lesson we mentioned that rebuttal is to refuse what, Cynthia?
To refuse opposite arguments.
Yes, so rebuttal is to refuse the opposite argument. That means we have to state the opposite argument first and then we have to refuse it, okay? So we have to also write down the topic sentence first and then supporting and sentence evidence afterwards. So the last part is conclusion, right? So conclusion, what I want you to do in the conclusion part is to restate the argument and also provide some possible solution for this policy or for this issue, okay? Now, I want you to write to help me finish the remaining part of the worksheet. Okay? Through the micro-teaching, I learned that the interaction between teacher and student is very important. As a teacher, you cannot expect a one-way teaching or chalk and talk teaching can teach effectively, because students may not be interested in the lesson, and so they cannot focus on the lesson. Providing enough scaffolding is one of my strengths. Using text frame is one of my writing strategies in my micro-teaching. So I try to model students to write topic sentence together. Topic sentence is very important in the writing task, especially in the text type persuasion. So I try to model them and teach them how to write well. So when students write on their own, they can refer to what I teach, and they can write well and with modeling and guidance. Another strength in my micro-teaching is interactive instruction. So in my lesson, I try to ask student questions and also invite them to read aloud something important together, so as to draw their attention and also guarantee they wouldn't miss any key concepts or ideas. However, I also have something to improve. I need more explanation on some difficult words like reclamation in the lesson. If I don't explain some difficult words to them, they may not be able to understand the topic or some instructions. Also, I seldom repeat some key words or key concepts in the lesson to consolidate student understandings. So it may lead students cannot be able to catch some key concepts and ideas as well. Therefore, I will try to explain more on some difficult words so as to help them understand some tasks and also some words better. And also, I will try to repeat some key concepts more often so as to help them understand better as well. So this is the end of my micro-teaching reflection. Thank you for watching. Bye bye!